Hello everybody, welcome to episode number 4, and today's episode is going to be the tech inspection for the R3. I think I am officially able to say that the R3 is race ready. It does need the body parts to be put back on. However, in terms of the actual tech spec or the tech inspection checklist, it checks off everything. So in this video today, we will go over the checklist specifically for the R3, but it should, or I hope it could potentially help for other bikes as well. So let's get to it. Alrighty, so the tech inspection list is off a 23-24 season. However, the actual things that you have to check off shouldn't change for the upcoming season. So yeah, let's get on from the first section. We will be skipping the numbers as the body parts are not ready. We will get straight into the safety wiring parts. First on the list is the oil drain plug. I'm also going to cover the oil filter as well. I have wired the oil filter hose clamp to the drain plug and then onto the case saver. Next on the list is the oil filler cap. I tied this to the water pump drain plug and then to the case saver. We're already halfway down the list. So next is the radiator cap. Wow, I can't pronounce that. And also the drain plug, as I've shown in the previous video. There it is. The next one is a very simple one, front brake caliper bolt. As you may know, it's very straightforward. Do the reverse S and you're good to go. The rear brake caliper bolt was a bit tricky for me as the R3 didn't have mounting point, so I actually drilled through the banjo bolt of the rear brake. Okay, for these two items, the front and the rear axle nut, you could bypass this if you actually have an axle slider. You don't have to drill the nut or the axle itself. So for the R3, this bike doesn't have any fork pinch bolts. Chill! Okay, so these are the other parts of the tech inspection checklist that you have to go through. If you have cameras, you want to safety wire them. Other than that, you need to have a functioning front and rear brake. That's very important. If your front goes out, your rear is the one that's going to save you. And also, the front brake lever guard is mandatory as well in case of crashes, collisions, any kind of like physical touches. You don't want that brake lever to be pushed in by other riders, or even when you fall, you don't want it to be catching the ground and have the bike flip. Belly pan removal, that's for tech inspection during the day itself, so it doesn't apply for the video. For oil filter, you have to use OEM or approved aftermarket filters only. Some say K&N doesn't work. I've actually raced with the K&N. I've gotten tech inspected, passed, no problem. But I think some organizations don't allow K&N whatsoever, OEM only. So next on the list is the radiator fluid. Only water, water wetter, Kool-Aid, and or ice water. Okay, to cover the engine of the bike, you need your case covers. You will need a case cover for the stator side and also on the clutch cover side as well. Some bikes have water pump covers, some don't. The R3 does, for example. So you want to make sure you get the right covers. And yes, the side stand does need to come off as it is not allowed for racing. You do not want to hurt the surface of the racetrack when you go down. I have mine on just for transport, but it will be coming off for racing. So the last item on the list is pretty new. It became mandatory starting last year. This is your toe guard / shark fin. This is so that your foot doesn't get stuck between the chains towards the rear wheel. And yes, it is mandatory. Well guys, that was it. We hit the entire list, checked off everything, and the bike just needs body work. If you like this content, let me get that like, subscribe. Feel free to ask any questions, leave them in the comments. Other than that, have a good one, and thank you everybody. Peasy out.